Hi, Sandra Wilson here, clinical hypnotherapist who helps people with misophonia and extreme sound sensitivity. So this video is part 2 of my short series on barking dogs. So misophonia and barking dogs. So in this video, I'm going to just talk a little bit about why barking feels worse at night, in the night time. And if dogs barking feels especially unbearable to you at night, you're not imagining anything. It is bad. So many people with sound sensitivity or misophonia say nighttime barking feels more intense, more intrusive and harder to cope with. And of course there are some very good reasons for those feelings. And the first one is your nervous system just is simply more vulnerable at night. And of course you are trying to sleep, your body is preparing for rest, so your stress tolerance is a lot lower. Your cognitive ability to use logic to calm yourself is going to be way lower because you're very tired. And your nervous system is just generally shifting into a more sensitive, restful state anyway. So of course when a sudden bark happens, it can feel rather like a big jolt, like a kind of a rude intrusion than it would do during the day if you were, say, just relaxing at home or working from home. And the fact that it is often very quiet at night, generally speaking, so there's less noise maybe in your home or out on the street. So because the environment is quieter, there's of course less background noise to absorb or soften the sound of barking. So the sound often feels a lot more intense, abrupt, it's more intrusive and it gets to you a lot more. And in a quiet space, even a small sound can feel amplified. And of course, if you're accustomed to feeling anxious about the sound of the dog barking, you could find yourself lying in bed and just anticipating it, which can be very, very distressing. And number 3, the loss of control often does feel stronger during the night at bedtime. So at night you expect to feel safe and you expect to be able to get the rest that you need. So when barking from a dog interrupts that, it can trigger a lot of frustration, understandably, anxiety about the sleep that you will get, or rather you won't get, and a sense of helplessness, especially if you have tried to tackle this issue with the person who owns the dog. And for many people, it's really not just the bark, it's the thought of, what if this goes on for hours? What if the dog wakes me up once I'm asleep? I'm never going to be able to get to sleep. I'm going to have a really awful day tomorrow. I'm going to be tired and moody and blah, blah, blah. You understand, I'm sure, where your mind can take you. And this anticipation alone it can really heighten your reaction. And of course you might like the dog. We said in my previous video, it's not that you don't like dogs. This may be a dog that you're very fond of, but you just don't want it barking in the middle of the night, or certainly not when you're trying to get to sleep. So number 4, the fact that you are tired and fatigued, this will just kind of really dampen your ability to regulate your emotions anyway. So when you're tired, your brain's ability to, stop yourself from spiraling can be way diminished. And the same sounds that feel irritating at 2 p.m. can feel intolerable at 11 p.m. And of course we all know that with misophonia, it is often in that rage, kind of intolerable level anyway for most of us. So a dog barking at 11 p.m. is not going to be much fun. And it does not mean that you are overreacting. It means that your nervous system has just about had enough and it's getting prepared for fighting or flighting. And just to offer some reassurance here, of course, if barking feels worse at night and you can't really do anything more, you may have tried to tackle the problem. Your nervous system is already going to be in a way more vulnerable state anyhow. This is not your fault, of course. You're not weak, you're not, lacking tolerance. So now you understand a little more about what's happening in your body. Hopefully we can begin to support it, begin to offer a little more gentle compassion toward ourselves rather than fight. And often when we're in a situation that we have no control over, that is a good option. So in my next video, I am going to do part 3 of this little series on dog barking, about how you can quickly calm yourself in a situation where you may not have any other option. You can't do anything about it, especially if you're in bed trying to sleep. So if this has made sense, do consider subscribing for more content. Maybe leave me a comment, and I'll be back tomorrow with more about barking dogs. Bye for now.